What up, internet? My name is JB, and we are back here today with my week 3 matchup in the PBL, or Professional Battlers League. I still don't have a tie. My apologies. Anyway, this week we are taking on the Tampa Bay Typhlosions, coached by Sleeve Card. So, as always, in the PBL, go down to the description and check him out. He makes good videos. Go like his content, all that nonsense, all that sort of stuff I tell you to do every week. But yeah, this team is pretty threatening, but I mean, it's, that's, what you've come to expect in draft leagues. This dude has a really scary team, and yeah, don't really have much else to say about it. It's really scary, so let's go ahead and go over what is on it. He's currently rocking a record of 1-1, so good for him. I think he's like plus, let's see, I can tell you real quick. He's 1-1, but he's -5. I don't know how that makes sense, but okay. He has a -5 differential, even though he's 1-1. I guess he got 6-0, and then 1-1-0, something like that. Whatever. But anyway, this team is really scary. To some extent, he has Lando T, Inte, Keldeo, Raikou, Roserade, Klefki. He has Deferium Z, Mega Pidgeot, Malamar, Mimikyu. He also has the Ghost DMZ. So he has Fairy and Ghost DMZ, as well as Audino, regular Audino for some reason. So yeah, his team's pretty scary. Let's go ahead and talk about sort of stuff that I can expect him to bring. Definitely going to bring Lando. Definitely going to bring Inte, because Inte does work against me. He also took Inte from me, which, yeah, he's the guy who ruined my whole fire type plan, like, literally with the second pick. So, hey, there's that. But, I mean, I got Victini out of it, so thanks for that, dude. Raikou could be scary. Probably not going to bring Roserade. He should bring Keldeo. Keldeo destroys my team, aside from like Manaphy and Decidueye, which I'm only bringing one of those, if you guys can see. But yeah, Keldeo does work against me. Could definitely expect to see that. If he brings Klefki, it'll be, just your generic support Klefki, which isn't that terribly scary. Mega Pidgeot maybe could come, I guess. It does alright against me. I mean, it heat waves, hurricanes, heat waves. It's good against like 4 of my mons. It's okay against the rest of my team, so I guess he could bring it. Malamar, not too scary, and then Mimikyu is definitely coming, 100,000%. Mimikyu is the scariest mon on his team, in my opinion. Especially the way like my team is. I'm not too scared of Lando. I have 1,000 ways of revenge killing a Lando, or just outright killing a Lando, unless he's Scarf. Scarf Lando is the scariest variant he could be, in my opinion. But same with like Keldeo is also the scariest it could be, a Scarf. But Life Orb, Calm Mind Keldeo is a huge issue. It could be if he gets it set up. Same with Calm Mind Raikou if he goes that route with it. And Roserade probably not coming. I have 1,000,007 ways of dealing with a Roserade. The 6 I think he's actually going to bring are Lando, Inte, Keldeo, Raikou, Pidgeot, and Mimikyu. Those are the 6 I think he's going to bring. And, it is what it is. I don't have the best. And the scariest thing is by far the Keldeo, in my opinion. It's like, bar none, Keldeo is the scariest mon on his team. So I had to plan around that, so let's go ahead and go over the team we have. We have Choice Scarf, Underminer, our Excadrill with the moves Earthquake, Iron Head, Rock Slide, and Rapid Spin. 139 speed was for probably some base 85 on his team. Or base 90? No, obviously not. Is it for Klefki? That shouldn't be for Klefki. 139. Is it for Klefki? It is for Klefki. That's embarrassing, guys. Sped crap to Klefki. But the main thing about Moldbreaker Excadrill is obviously breaking or not caring about the skies on Mimikyu. So we got the Iron Head to just deal with it, and if it takes any sort of chip damage from anything or whatever, it's gonna die to an Earthquake. I don't know how I would get chip damage on it, but if I do get chip damage on it, I don't need a lot for it to die, just die to Earthquake. So either way, I have good ways of dealing with it. Rapid Spin obviously for rocks, Iron Head for the Mimikyu, Earthquake because he has a Raikou and an Entei that both drop to it, and then Rock Slide's pretty much just there for Pidgeot, even though I'm pretty sure Iron Head will do just as much. So there's that. Only thing I really have to worry about would be like a Magnet Rise Klefki. So that could be an issue if I'm locked in Earthquake and he does that, and then he starts spike stacking or something like that. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Next up, we have Oceania, our Manaphy finally getting to come to a game. Obviously rocking the Waterium Z with the moves Rain Dance, Scald, Psychic, and Tail Glow. So we're going to be setting up some Z Rain Dances, hopefully. 137 speed was for, I guess it was for Klefki? Even though that doesn't outspeed Klefki. I don't know what that speed is for. I have no clue what that number was for. Is it for you? I guess it was for Malamar. Yeah, it was for a speed tie with Malamar. But actually I think that was probably so I outsped something that was potentially Scarfed. I don't freaking know, dude. But at +1, I outspeed everything, obviously with Z Rain Dance, and then Scald Psychic hits his entire team neutrally. Don't really need to explain why that makes sense. The only thing that Manaphy is scared of is the Raikou, but if I get the +3, it doesn't live +3 Scald unless it's bulky. I'm talking like bulky AV. But if he's, just has some HP invest, it depends on how much, if it kills or not, but we'll see. I don't think he'll be bulky Raikou. I think he'll probably just be like Life Orb, Calm Mind, something like that. Next up, we have Vicky Vale, our Victini, with the Expert Belt. The moves are V-Create, Glaciate, Zen Headbutt, and U-Turn. 163 speed was for the Landorus. And with the special attack invest I have, and the Expert Belt, Glaciate Oko's offensive Landorus. So that's what that is for. And outspeeded, obviously. V-Create just destroys things. Zen Headbutt's nice stab for Roserade. Even that. I didn't just say that. I did not say that. It was for the Keldeo. That's what I meant to say. V-Create is... I'm going to V-Create the Roserade. Don't worry, guys. I'm going to V-Create the Roserade. I'm not that stupid. I mean, I am, but don't tell anyone. U-Turn's nice for the Malamar as well as Momentum. And yeah, that's Next up, we have 2% the Miltank, rocking the Leftovers with Stealth Arc, Toxic, Milkshake, and Earthquake. Going Spadef this week because he has a lot of special attackers. A lot of special attackers on this dude's team. This is a sort of good switch into Keldeo if it's a water move. If it's not, then oh well. It's a good switch into Roserade. It's a good switch into Raikou. And it's just good for giving up rocks and annoying things with Toxic. Like Miltank does. It's pretty much the same Miltank I've brought every week. I just switch up whether I need Fizz Def or Spadef. That's pretty much all I've been doing with Miltank. Next up, we have Dahlia, our Mega Gardevoir, with the moves Hyper Voice, HP, Ice, Psyshock, and Taunt. Decided to go max HP with a lot of speed for Landorus. Don't really need much special attack to just start hurting things, because nothing on his team outside of the Klefki or the Entei wants to take a Hyper Voice, and then Landorus dies to the HP Ice. Psyshock's good for Keldeo, Psyshock's good for Roserade, and pretty much I just hit hard, and I can taunt things that I am faster than, which is everything that is slower than a Landorus. So I don't taunt any of the 3 dog, horse things or Pidgeot. I taunt everything else. So that's nice. Next up, last up, we have Zap, Squatch, our Electivire with Volt Switch, Earthquake, Ice Punch, and Thunder Punch. 157 speed was for... Actually, no, that's for Landorus. The 160 speed tier is for Mimikyu. 157 is for Landorus, if I remember correctly. I'm almost positive I do. I guess I'll just check. It makes sense to check. I'm here. Why would I not tell you guys what I'm thinking? What I'm doing? Yep, it's for Landorus. Okay. Just speed tie. Did I fuck up? I fucked up. Oh well. I was supposed to outspeed, but I got speed tied. I think my EVs got messed up because I wouldn't mess that up. I would like quadruple check that. I'm pretty sure my EVs got messed up here, but yeah, obviously this battle's already happened as I recorded this, so it didn't come into play. But yeah, Volt Switch for Momentum, Earthquake, Spam, Ice Punch for Lando, Thunder Punch for other things. It's just hits hard, hits fast, gets out if it needs to. Electivire is going to do Electivire things whenever Electivire needs to do Electivire things. So, that is the squad we are bringing for Sleep Card. I don't have anything weird to do, so I'm just going to shake my ponytail until it comes out. Gift that. Someone gift that and send it to me. Alright, see you in the battle. I just got... Okay, I don't know if you guys can tell, but this video is 8 minutes and 28 seconds long. I got 6 minutes into this battle and realized I didn't hit record, so... Yeah, I'm an idiot. But anyway, getting into the actual battle now. Looking at the team he brought, he didn't bring Keldeo, which was a little bit weird to me. It's the only thing I didn't really expect to not see. Everything else is sort of what I expected to some extent. Keldeo was the only thing I really thought he would bring that he didn't bring. But I decided to just go ahead and lead off with my Excadrill. Mostly because I have something that hits everything that's, slower than me, and I can get, good initiative with Volt Switch. If I don't like the matchup, I can just Volt Switch on out and stuff like that. So, he's actually going to end up leading with the Mega Pidgeot, which, unfortunately, I don't actually have a whole lot to switch into. You guys will see that the way that this game plays out is I don't have a whole lot of switch-ins to his team, but I have a ways of revenge killing everything. And that's not a good way to play, especially when differential does matter in a league. So make sure you actually bring switch-ins to things if you're in a league where differential matters, because you gotta run into games like this where you just screw yourself over because you have to revenge kill things instead of just having actual switch-ins. But he's going to U-turn out with his Mega Pidgeot, and I just decided to click Ice Punch, predicting the Lando just to get some nice damage off on it. And unfortunately, he just decides to go Entei. Now, something I want to keep in the back of my mind while playing this game is that the last 2 weeks, he's brought Scarf Entei both weeks, and Z Shadow Ball Raikou both weeks. So that's just something I kept in the back of my mind while playing this game. So when he brings the Entei in like that on my... Electivire, I obviously don't want to stay in because it outspeeds me naturally and it gets, Bulldoze, so definitely don't want to stay in there. Decided to go into my 2% because I am max defense thick fat, so I don't really care about, taking the fire moves that Entei wants to go for, or really any moves that Entei wants to go for that matter. Unless it's like banded superpower. Does it even get superpower? I don't remember. But I just go for my rocks on the switch as he brings the Mega Pidgeot back in, and he is just going to click a nice fat Hurricane, which does quite a bit. Going back to the whole I don't have switch-ins to his team thing, I didn't want Excadrill to take damage because, as you guys can see, outside of Pidgeot and Landorus, his entire team just gets destroyed by Earthquake, Spam, as well as, I need it for the Mimikyu, which is still around, because of course I have Mold Breaker, which ignores the sky, so I can just, bang out an Iron Head on that thing. I decided to just get off a Toxic on something. He decides to lead the Mega Pidgeot in. I don't want my Miltank going down just yet, so I just decided to switch back into Zapsquatch, which unfortunately cannot take 2 Hurricanes, so Zapsquatch, take him on for the team here, just gonna go down to a couple more moves so I can, effectively revenge kill, because that's how I build teams apparently, is to revenge kill. So yeah, he's just gonna click the Heat Wave, which unfortunately, does outspeed my Zapsquatch, and down it goes. Okay. Now, I am pretty free to just go right on into my Underminer and my Excadrill, and thanks to his own Dogard, I don't have to worry about this Rock Slide missing. The only switch-in that I really see that he would even go into would be like Keys, but who would go Keys on a Electivire or an Excadrill? You'd be a madman to do that. It would have been a crazy play if he actually went for it. I would have respected the crap out of someone who did that. But yeah, I get the Rock Slide off, and he's just gonna go into his Lando because obviously I outsped his Pidgeot, so he knows I'm Scarf at this point, which is unfortunate. But I needed to get rid of that Pidgeot right away because it actually did a lot of damage to my team. Now, I just decided to go back into 2% on the Lando because I don't really need 2% too much. I kind of do to just take hits from the Entei, but again, I don't have anything else that I want to take damage at this point. So, hey, I built this team poorly. But, yeah, I just decided to click Toxic here in case he went for rocks or something. But he's just going to Earthquake twice and finish off my Mill Tank, which is unfortunate, but at least it got rocks up and got a Toxic off, so, you know, at least it did more than our Electivire. Unfortunately, but this turn, we get to go on the Mega Gardevoir, who, for the first time this season, after coming the first 2 games, actually gets to hit the field. And actually gets to Mega Evolve. And actually gets to show off her new dress, looking all fly, looking like a boss woman. Like a strong, independent woman who just clicks this HP Ice on this Landorus and gets rid of it. I lived Scarf Earthquake. Barely lived Scarf Earthquake, but I did, so I knew even if he was Scarf, I could just, you know, get off the HP Ice and finish it off. Turns out he wasn't Scarf though, so he just goes into Mimikyu here. I decided to, you know, taunt to prevent the Swords Dance in case he wanted to go for it, but he's just gonna Shadow Sneak and do a crap ton of damage to my Gardevoir. So I'm just gonna sack off here. He does reveal the Life Orb, which probably tells me that he is the Shadow Ball Raikou once again. So that's good to know. He's not like Twinkle Tackle or Never Ending Nightmare on his Mimikyu, which was way more threatening in my opinion. So we can go into our Excadrill here, and his entire team is grounded and weak to ground at this point, and after rocks and 2 Life Orb hits, Mimikyu is in range, so I can just click a pretty free Earthquake and get rid of the Mimikyu, which, thank God, Mimikyu was not more of an issue than it was. It's always nice to be able to get rid of a huge threat. So he goes into Entei immediately after I finish off the Mimikyu, which does tell me that all but confirmed that he is Scarf Entei, and I do not want to take this hit. I need to keep my Excadrill alive because it beats both of his other mons in the back. So I just go into Vikivale, the Victini, because I know I can take anything. Like I can take Scarf Bulldoze. I can take a Scarf Bulldoze and then, you know, get off these respectable damage with V-Create or whatever. I just do decide to go for V-Create because it did more than anything else I had to hit the Entei, but he's just gonna sack off his keys, which is perfectly fine by me. If you want to sack off one of the most annoying mons in existence, that's perfectly okay without it doing anything. Yeah. I am fine with my opponents just getting rid of the annoying mons. So the keys are going to go down, and Vikivale is just sitting here looking all nice. He's going to go into Raikou on the switch. And he could Z Shadow Ball here, but I think he decides to preserve it and just regular Shadow Balls me, which is fine. It's going to finish off Vikivale, unfortunately. But I have Excadrill in the back, which does outspeed, and he can't go into Entei because it'll die to Earthquake. So I can just get a pretty free kill on either of his mons here. It's just which one does he want to preserve. And the only one that could beat Manaphy is Raikou. So if he went Raikou, if he went Entei here, there's no way I lost this game, basically, because if he switched out to beat Manaphy, he loses his Entei, and he still loses to Scarf Excadrill. And if he preserves this, or if he lets Raikou die, and keeps the Entei alive, he can, you know, Sacred Fire me, but he's gonna have to lock himself into Sacred Fire, which my Manaphy lives like it's nothing because it's a Manaphy. So there's no way I could have lost this game at this juncture, barring like quadruple crits or something like that, you know. You just the most unfortunate of circumstances. But yeah, he's just gonna finish off my Excadrill with the Entei, and I can just go into Manaphy and do what Manaphy does, making its debut as well, actually. So he does click the Sacred Fire, does some decent damage, about 50. So yeah, like I said, I take those all day, and just to be the a-hole that I am, I decided to click Hydro Vortex because I'm a bad person. Obviously I didn't need to click this. I could have scalded, but I wanted to. I don't know. I brought the Z move. I want to show the cool animation. It's a cool animation, right? Yeah, get in there, Manaphy. Do your thing. And we're gonna pick up the nice 1-0. So like I said, not good for my differential, but a win is a win is a win, and I am perfectly fine with that. Again, bit of a, rocky start, but the team pulled together. Again, if I could go back and rebuild this team, I would have brought switch-ins to Lando and Pidgeot. But, hindsight's 2020. It didn't help my differential, but I still got the win, and that's all that really matters in the end of things. Especially going into our next week's match, where we play our buddy Quaza. I know we don't, you guys haven't seen much of him on the channel, but he's a buddy of mine. We've been hanging out on Discord and a lot, and I actually joined his league, which is coming up, the PCP. Yes, it's called the PCP. But that draft is happening as I'm recording this weekend, so I'll do a review for that, probably either Super Bowl Sunday or the Monday after. So there's that, and we play him in the PBL this coming week, and we're 2 of the 3 undefeated teams left. So, and he has a higher differential than me after this week. So if I win, I take over first place. If he wins, he keeps first place. Is basically how it goes. And yeah. That's basically it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. GG to Sleeve Card. Go check out his content down below. I'll leave his link in the description as always. And bye-bye!